everyone from Southern California. My name is Murphy Daly. I'm a director of project management and AV veteran. You can find me on the interwebs as Written by Murphy, and you are joining us. You can see us, you can hear us for the AV life.
Hey, this is Nancy Blanchard here from sunny San Jose, California. Happy Halloween. And you are listening to and watching the AV Life.
I'm Skincare, writer for the Higher Ed Digital Magazine, IT and AV column, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
Hey, welcome to the AV Life podcast. My name is Joe Way, and I am not your host. You are watching and listening, well, to Tim and whatever else happens.
And I am your host, the host with the most, this gruesome Halloween. I am Tim Van Wert, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life. All right, it is Halloween, folks. This episode will come out on Halloween, and you will be hearing us, and we are dressed. Some of us are dressed. We're all supporting and being festive tonight. I have donned my Dark Lord cloak for tonight on top of my hockey jersey as I went to go rep my New Jersey Devils tonight. So we are starting a little bit late, and it's my fault. So I'm sorry for that. And we've got Joe Way here as his Trojan self.
Very Trojan.
Oh, we lost you. We lost your audio, Joe.
I have no sound.
Oh, there you are. Now you're here.
I am my Trojan self tonight.
Yes. You are all about supporting your
pom-poms. I got Tommy who made it to CCMC. We're good.
Fantastic.
Joe Way, why do you tempt me so with the Trojans?
Yeah. Wait, is that where you put it? That's what she said?
That's what she said.
Oh.
Well, we could go down that.
Like we don't hear it all day long on our campus. Okay.
Well, this is true.
And condom jokes. Okay. Yeah. It comes with the territory.
Well, and ladies and gentlemen, as you've already heard that voice, Mr. Harry Meade has joined us tonight. Harry, welcome back to the AV Life.
It is great to be here, Tim. I was surprised you didn't follow up the line that I am your host, your ghost host. Yes. Well,
it
sounded like you may have paused on that and said, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. So I'll do it for you.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Well, and actually, as this episode does release, the thing that I had hinted to you at the last time you visited with us, we did a trunk or treat this weekend, and the theme was the Haunted Mansion. So I have the photos will maybe be released, but I have my cast member costume ready to go, and so does my wife and son. So there will, yes. And we got Madame Leota in her floating head on that'll be in there, and so it'll be I'm excited for it, and that you'll see all the pictures when this episode comes out, and I'll share it with everybody then. So I'm hopeful for how it's going to come out. So and also welcome to David Pequeno. David, welcome back to the AV Life, or should I say Farmer David?
Farmer David.
Yep. Farmer David, back from the dead. It's been a while. I have arisen just for today's show.
Well, I was going to say, with that shovel, it looks like you're ready to dig some graves. There
we go.
I hope you don't have... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, I was going to say, I think this is my 6th time on the podcast. So, you know.
Yeah, you're climbing.
Does that mean you get a jersey? You get a jersey for being on 6 times?
No, he gets.
I'm looking for a hat.
The hat. Well, those are out of. So yeah, right before we got started, the New Jersey Devils last season had it released a third jersey that was black, and I'm actually currently wearing it, and it says Jersey on it for New Jersey, but people took it another way, and it's like, well, why are you putting Jersey on the jersey? And it was so then the joke continued, and they created a baseball hat that said hat on it. So there's the hat and the jersey. The hat was a limited release. They did 2 runs of it and they sold out basically instantly. So I couldn't get a hold of a hat. So
I'll take a jersey.
I feel like with him holding a shovel, I need like a deadly weapon with me too, but all I have is this gavel. So
Oh, perfect.
I'm just gonna hold a gavel.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, and the pom-pom. I don't know which is more dangerous.
I don't know.
I'm prepared with a freaking pencil.
Oh no.
If you've seen John Wick.
Yeah. Well, and then there's Joker, there's Heath Ledger's Joker as well. So yes, a pencil could be a deadly weapon. So
well, I was thinking of Gross Point Blank and the pen, and also that other movie. She gave me a pen. Well, that's more deadly. But it's a callback to Cusack's. What was it? The one where she gave me a pen earlier.
I'm drawing a blank on that, and I'm not saying that because of Gross Point Blank, but
I just think of Selma.
It's funny. I was just listening to that soundtrack today. That is a great soundtrack as far as movie soundtracks are concerned. A little bit of Violent Femmes, a little bit of the Clash.
That was the movie. The early movie was the young John Cusack, Say Anything, and she gave me a pen, and then Cusack did Gross Point Blank, which involved killing with pens. So there's a whole.
Yep.
Yeah. All connected.
Yes.
There you go. It all comes back around. So, Nancy, James, how are we all doing today?
Good. Peachy Keen?
Hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Yeah, James is joining us from his car again. So we got our one chance with you at home, and now you're back in the car again.
He's watching the sun go down. The shadows is going across your chest as the sun slants.
The sun is getting real low, huh, James?
It is. It is. Yeah, definitely getting real low. But you know what? Watching soccer field, it's always fun.
Nice.
So, James, do they start earlier because of the change with the I guess you could say sun going down sooner? Nope. So they still play in the dark?
Well, they got lights at the field.
Okay.
So, well, I mean, that's one thing. Like, we're back in New Jersey, in our complex, we only had one lighted field. Here, this whole complex is pretty lit. So, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
So is my cousin, but he still needs headlights. Boom. Sorry. Cars joke.
I decided to dress up tonight as a trick-or-treater after Thanksgiving, so I'm eating Halloween candy.
There you go. See, I'm dressed up as a pretend podcast crew member of the AV Life.
A pretend podcast?
I don't know.
I was gonna say you actually are a crew member.
Yeah.
See, I figured James, I figured you were dressed up as the dad following the kids around the neighborhood in the car.
Well, that'll be on Monday. My wife asked me, she's like, "What are you going as?" I'm go as an angry man.
Sorry, I'm being distracted.
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. Chat. Oh wait.
I was gonna say you've got me on. Chat's gonna be like having.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
off
like
to the side. Yeah,
that's gonna be the squirrel on. Yeah, maybe I should leave that like right in front of me here instead. Maybe I'm gonna take one of the squares over here and not block David with my chat here. So so it's Halloween.
A shovel there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want him. Yeah, I don't need to be like whacked in the head, like a death becomes her type thing. So,
Oh,
Yeah. I think
oh,
we're losing. I think we're losing our listeners. Yes, Joe. I think they're like, "What the hell are these guys talking about today?" It's like we've already
just
gone
lost
off the rails
Murphy.
and we haven't even started.
And Joe didn't take over.
I
I
know.
don't take over. I am a guest, a well-behaved guest.
So, all right. So, since it is Halloween, wait a second. Did we just lose?
We lost
We
Murphy.
lost
We
Murphy.
lost Murphy. Oh, that's weird. Oh, she disappeared.
Did she
So,
just
yes,
ghost us?
oh, ghosted us. Oh, and she's back.
Oh.
Sorry. I did something
That's all right.
docking station.
That's all right. We had quality comedy going on while you were gone.
Yes, at your
Ah,
expense. So,
100%.
so all right. So this is Halloween, and we're just gonna do some silly things today, aside from just go off the rails. So, what was everybody's favorite villain growing up, or currently, if you have a favorite villain? We're gonna go with the dark side here. We're gonna go down that road, since it is Halloween and it is the dark times. So who's the favorite villain?
I have to
IRS.
go. Does it have to be like a superhero or just like a criminal?
Could be a criminal. Yeah, we could go real or fake. Like I'm okay with that.
I go with Jigsaw,
Hmm.
and there's
Okay.
a reason why I go with that.
Okay, let's hear it.
Technically, he didn't kill anyone.
True.
Every situation those people were in, there was a way out safe.
That's weak. You know what? People should die.
I like the mental.
Deserving
I like the
people
mind
should die.
games. I like the mind games. I like how he plays with their mind, and he always has to watch. So he's always involved in the room somewhere.
That's true. All right. Well, I because of my Star Wars love, it's Darth Vader for me, and I always like the redemption story. That's always been my thing. And you have the story of the turn because of his love for Padme and wanting to keep her alive, and then his heart and everything turned to the dark side, and then he rediscovered his inner love and for his son. And it's a great, and I'm totally spoiling this for anybody who hasn't seen Star Wars, and not sorry, but
You don't deserve your pity.
It's like over 40. It's like 40 years old.
50 years.
yeah, I know if you
don't-
haven't seen, yeah,
No, the new ones.
no, the original trilogy, yeah. So if you haven't seen the original trilogy at this point, I'm sorry, but not sorry. So, but yeah, that, I don't know, the redemption story, and that we're finding out more now that they're continuing his story with like the Kenobi series and things like that, about how powerful of a villain he actually was and how strong he was with the Force, even from the dark perspective. It just blows my mind.
So I don't know. Maybe this is my take, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I started to watch. I've seen the original trilogy. I'm going back and watching, trying to catch up on ones I missed. To me, I just feel that Darth Vader, like Anakin Skywalker, he's just a child throwing a tantrum. Things weren't going his way, and he's just throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
just
in a
my
way
thought.
you could look at it that way. That's true. That's why a lot of people had hate against Hayden Christensen, because he played it like a whiny kid,
Yeah.
So
Let's say Anakin had a couple of days of sad, and he's kneeling in front of the Emperor.
Yeah, like come on.
the Emperor was like, yeah, here's candy, I can make it better. And
Yeah, the Emperor's driving by in a TIE fighter that says free candy on it. And
all right, Harry. So who's your favorite villain then?
I mean, we've kind of beat the Star Wars horse a little bit, but I've
Mhm.
got one more to beat from the Star Wars universe. Darth Jar Jar is the
Ah,
best.
okay. Yep.
Darth Jar
I
Jar, which some people have not heard the story of Jar Jar.
just like they haven't heard the story of Darth Plagueis. It's like,
Good reference.
but anyway, go ahead.
Yes, Darth Jar Jar is Jar Jar Binks. If you notice, he can stumble his way through something and then miraculously it ends up exactly the way that he needed it to. On the battlefield, he has a blaster rifle swinging from his ankle and he manages to only take out battle droids, not the people fighting the battle droids. So there's just he manages to execute a completely gravity-defying dive into the water because he's using the Force and he's a dark side user, and he was the one who was truly pulling the strings and completely took down the Old Republic.
See, that's a I've heard that theory as well. And there is some credit to that because it's almost too perfect to be fake. Like, so
I was gonna say, personally, I think Lucas had some form of a story in the back of his head
mhm.
of that, but everybody hated Jar Jar so much after the first movie, he changed gears.
Mhm.
Oh, so like
So
they
that
did on Homeland. That really pissed people off. You know that, right? It's a Showtime show, Homeland.
I've heard of it. I've never had Showtime,
no.
so
So the whole purpose of the Showtime Homeland was there was going to the good guy, you can say, he was supposed to track a new terrorist every season. The first season, the terrorist that he was tracking, people fell in love with the characters, so they didn't kill him off, and they just totally. I thought they killed the show doing that, and really ruined the whole premise of what it was supposed to be about.
that's always a shame when they do stuff like that, and that's man. Joe
Yeah,
Way.
just like
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
no, sorry. Go ahead, David.
I was gonna say, just like Game of Thrones, just kill every character every 2 episodes and keep it fresh, you know?
Well, that went off the book, so
Well, that's the thing.
True.
When when they went off book, they started really messing with things.
Are we going to talk about the book?
No one
Okay.
reads the book.
I didn't read the book, so I can't.
Books are overrated unless it's mine, which is right here.
Audiobooks
You're
only.
welcome to buy it on
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Murphy has a
my
book
soon
as
to be
well, and
coming,
she's got
the
the
AV
soon to be
Project
coming book
Management
too.
Handbook. Yeah.
Yep.
But okay, the Game of Thrones books. I read them excitedly after I heard that another what I thought was the final book in the grouping was going to be done. I got through them all, and I realized the author, what's his name again?
George R.R. Martin.
George R.R. I'm
Yeah.
like J.R.R. No, that's a different guy. George R.R. Martin.
Yep. Lord of the Rings, yep.
Betrayed us. He created a story and he didn't know how to land the plane.
completely and utterly.
Okay, you get it.
It's like an
here, you get
Indiana.
it. I'm
It's like an
wait a minute.
Indiana. It's like an Indiana Jones line. Fly,
Yeah.
yes. Land, no. It's like,
Exactly. And so he did all these horrible, he did these things that were like, this would be great if it were going somewhere. It'd be really good if he actually got it to go somewhere. And I realized he completely betrayed all of us. There's a social agreement. You get into an agreement with the reader. When a writer writes a book, that means you're going to take them through an experience and you make a promise. He betrayed everybody. He was an apostate, not an apostate. Apostate's different, but he betrayed us. He didn't know what he's doing. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to watch the TV show. When the TV show went off book, I thought, maybe there's something here, but even so, it's so freaking tawdry. I couldn't quite deal with all the soft core and horror mixed together. I'm like, I just can't deal with it. So bye. And on that note, my story about villains, let's go to Disney.
Okay. Ooh.
So
I'm all
actually,
in for going to Disney.
you're
Let's
all for
go.
that. And I know Nancy
Oh,
has a fondness.
shoot me now.
Yeah.
And so does Harry. So
You know what's cool about your little your Disney doll there? It's getting kind of faded in your blurred background,
that-
which adds to like the spooky bit. So I like it.
But I'm sorry, if we've been on Disney the whole time, in Star Wars, we've been on Disney the whole time.
Well, this is true.
Whatever. Anyway, what happened is we had the year of Disney when my daughter was little. We bought a year pass and went as often as we could. She was like, this is the moment. She was between the ages of like 3.5 to 4.5. So we did a ton of Disney, and we actually splurged. I know you guys are far more into it than us, but we splurged and got a princess breakfast for her all the way in. So there's a ton of characters, all these characters coming through. I was like, wow, this is a lot going on. I got to experience it too, right? And so guess who came into Princess Breakfast? Captain Hook.
Ooh.
Captain Hook came in, and she was my little tiny darling. She was like, whoa. She was like, this is a villain. I know he's scary. She was like, I don't think I'm going to give him a hug. All the princesses got a hug, but she's like, ooh. I think she kind of were like, take a picture. She's like, going to stand away from this guy. She was excited that he was there, but she knew that he was not a guy to be trusted. So there's my big villain story.
Ah, yes, the infamous Captain Hook. So, Joe, just out of curiosity, I mean, I know your feelings on Disney and everything like that, but who is your villain?
You going to me for a villain?
I'm going to
I'm
you
not
for a villain.
All right. Well, I had a villain, but then everyone started picking villains that end up being nice. Like, so are we supposed to pick our villain that's a villain and they're like the evil villain, or does it have to be a villain that, because I have two, they're two different answers.
All right, well, I mean, James went with
restrain yourself. You know you want to do both.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, do both. Let's hear it.
So the ultimate villain of villains, evil inside and out, and ruins lives. Lilith Sternin. Okay, straight up. Cheers and Frasier. Okay, the ex-wife, and she destroys everything of him, beats him down like every ex-wife does. Okay, makes him feel small and follows him around and just takes the nads and twists them like every ex-wife does. Every male can relate to a Lilith. Okay, period. Done. Cheers. That is the most evil person ever.
Okay.
And then there's the
appropriately
villain
named, because I think he's she's supposed to be Adam's first wife. Lilith.
Oh, Lilith. Yeah. All right, yeah.
There you go. Then you have the villain who turns out to be a really good guy, but is always getting in the way. And that's Ralph Furley. Okay. Three's Company.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because he, obviously they have to keep the secret from him. He always wants him out of the apartment. Things go wrong, but he always just a good guy. So it depends. I mean, those are the two extremes.
That's an interesting take there, Joe. I like that. Yeah, you have both extremes there. Huh.
And I'm not wrong with Lilith, by the way, the ultimate villain that has existed.
And I like the classic TV angle too. That was very cool. Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How about you?
How about me? I don't know. I live Disney through my son. So if I took a picture right now, I could show you how many Halloween plushes there are of Mickey. I mean, the 95% of the house that's decorated downstairs, it's all Mickey.
Wow.
So
then would the villain be
villain?
Pete? I was gonna say, would it be Pete, or would it?
I don't know. I don't really have a villain. I look at it as positive. That's how I look at it, is that it's just a positive thing. So I don't look at any particular villain. It's just all about Mickey.
Yeah.
Mickey, the cruises, and
Well,
anything.
who's
But you
Mickey's
know what?
nemesis?
I won't go to Walt Disney World yet, and I won't go to Disneyland yet. They got to get their act, their rides, all of that fixed with things breaking down. Now they've increased the prices. So I don't want to go
There we
until
go.
I guess you could say it's kind of back to normal, if it ever will be. And we could get into politics. I'm sure Harry Meade and you guys with Chapek or whomever the CEO his name is and what he's done. He's changed it from being Walt's vision to being more of a corporate money grab type of thing. Like there isn't that culture and that happiness feeling.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that if you want, there's your villain. If you want to talk about a villain, there it is. You know, I agree with you to an extent. I agree with you to an extent, Nancy, that the environment is not the same as it was. You know, but I still enjoy going.
And much of it is Bob Chapek's fault, or as we like to call him, Bob Chapek, or paycheck.
Bob Paycheck.
Bob
Yeah.
Paycheck.
Yeah.
That's where you go.
Yeah. You know, even on the cruise this summer, people were complaining, but we have to understand it was the supply chain. So usually when you do like a European or cross country type of cruise, they'll have t-shirts affiliated with it. So in their shops, you know, let's say that you're going to Copenhagen. Well, they'll have one that says Copenhagen, or they'll have a t-shirt that has all the countries you visited. There was absolutely nothing like that.
Wow.
Then, you know, they got rid of all of the navigators. So you didn't have the paper navigator, you had it as an app. And there were, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, there were a couple other things. So you think, okay, you're saving money that way. Well, then why don't you pass that on to, you know, the people that are cruising? Because you're saving the money, but still now what you've done is you've added on all these additional service charges. So at some point, you know, and then now you got me on my soapbox. So when you did these cruises, so the Mediterranean, the Baltic Sea, etc., is they would always leave, like according to what type of status you were, these really cool gifts on your bed. So one year when it was Greece, it were these really nice ceramic coasters that had, you know, like Goofy dressed up, you know, with olives and things like that. And then there was another where it was a limited edition picture. There was another where it was like a limited edition, but it was a picture frame. And there were all these things. On this past cruise, nothing at all. So that's where I think they lost it.
They're cutting back.
Yeah. Cutting back.
They're cutting back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, you asked.
Yeah, I did ask. No, I did. Yes. David, how about you, sir?
All right. Well, I'm going to change the conversation because
let's bring us home here.
Well, Darth Vader was my original pick because I am also a Star Wars fan, but I'm switching it from Disney. The villain I'm picking is Freddy Krueger. So just a classic
solid
traditional
pick right there. You win.
There you go.
What prize does he win, Tim? What are you buying out of your own pocket to send to him?
I'll figure something out.
All right, I love
to be determined later.
But just a classic villain. He looks great. You know, he's intimidating. He's scary. He kills his victims in different ways. Yeah. And I'm not a big scary movie fan, FYI. So I don't like scary movies, but I do like watching the Nightmare on Elm Street. Wow, I can't talk today. But those movies are pretty badass. So sorry, I swore on the podcast. I forgot if we could swear or not. So.
Badass is fine.
Right.
So he's all right, but he only takes his victims in the dream world. I mean, I'm not a huge horror fan. My wife.
No. He comes into the real world in the last one.
Really? All right. Okay. I'll admit.
That was a false statement. And we find out that he could have done it all along, and he was the one manipulating. No, friend, I don't want to blow it for everybody, but the last one fills in a lot of blanks.
Gotcha.
See, I can't even listen to this because I'm already thinking I might have trouble sleeping tonight. Not even haven't seen the movie. Here you just talk about it. It's too much for
Jason
me.
Myers. Mike Myers, not Jason. Sorry, Mike Myers. He doesn't talk. He doesn't run, and he doesn't die. He just slowly walks and always tends to kill his victim.
I was
That
gonna
is
say,
scary.
but from what I've heard of
Fireball.
this movie that just came out, don't do it. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Has anyone seen that new movie yet? Because I was thinking about going see it.
Oh, the
I don't
Halloween
know.
and
I'm sure my wife wants to see it.
Yeah, I'm not a big.
I've heard nothing but badness.
I heard they're trying to just wrap it all up, so but I don't know how accurate that is. So
I heard the same thing that they're trying to wrap it up. But
Yeah,
again,
but
I'm
that's
not a
part of the-
horror movie. My wife loves horror movie. Only one I like is the Saw movies, and I don't like it for the horror. I like it for the mental aspect of it.
yeah, and I'm not. I was say I'm not much.
I might have to leave early. Goes on.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Murphy.
Mo.
I was say I really don't fall into the horror genre so much as the zombies genre, because I feel like that's its own. Even though I know like Night of the Living Dead and all that, like they fall into that horror genre, but I feel like zombie horror is its own thing. So like I enjoy those for some reason. I like the thought of the undead and all that, but yeah, like I'll go watch the
world to explore. It has its own kind of things going on. You kind of explore what would happen and how they'll interact.
Right.
It's different.
I feel like there's
feels
like a
sci-fi.
there's a scientific side to it that
Yeah.
makes it plausible. Maybe not necessarily,
It's a
definitely
world
gonna
with
happen.
rules that you can live inside if they do it right.
Correct. Now the problem, my issue is that there's no consistency from one zombie movie to another, because you got like the fast moving zombies, you got the slow moving zombies, you got the zombies that are like falling apart, rotting, and then you got you got zombies that just kind of look like regular people, but then all of a sudden they turn on you. Oh, Joe Way's ready to abandon ship.
Back.
All right, I got the
Oh.
best villain of all time.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Joe Way.
Ah!
He look,
Terrifying.
Wow.
he always steals the show. Always got to be about him, but he makes you feel like it's about you, but then turns it on him. So Joe Way is the best villain.
He's
The
very
best
consistent.
villain.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know whether I should cry right now or be very proud. Because that is a
See,
skill.
again, now it's about him.
I know it is a skill. And let me just tell you, James, that was very, very good of you to point out my favorite topic on earth, and that is myself.
Oh yes, we all know this. Self-promotion is definitely a strong piece of your character there.
I think I might do this for work on Monday. This works. This is
Yeah. Make everybody call you Skipper.
Skipper. Oh, I wish I have a
I'm
bucket hat
captain, not
somewhere.
skipper. There's a difference between captain and skipper. Do you know the difference?
No, I don't know the difference. I'll be
I
honest.
Size of the
used to.
boat?
I can't think of it.
Hmm?
The size
I
of the
used
boat?
to. I can't think of it.
Okay.
One
So
hires an idiot for a first mate and sinks the ship.
Eh,
a captain is the one who you have to have ownership percentage to be a captain,
oh.
which is very interesting because they ruin that on cruise ships unless they're stock op. I don't know how they get around it, but captain must own the boat. Skippers can drive the boat, but they usually work for captains.
Well, that's not true in the
I'm just
military.
saying, I don't make the stuff up.
Unless,
the way it's
unless
Again,
supposed to
kind
be.
of
why
true in
Joe's the
military.
best villain?
He just brings well, and you know what though? You're right, James. The best villains aren't necessarily wrong with what their thought process is. It's just it's against the norm. Like then that's the same could be said for like Heath Ledger's Joker. For instance, the way he went about things was not necessarily wrong. He was an agent of chaos, and he was just trying to get to an end point. It just wasn't the way that we would have normally gone about it.
I was going to say, don't get me started on the fact that Joker is in no way an agent of chaos.
Well,
He plans out
Self-proclaimed-
everything.
Self-proclaimed agent of chaos.
He's self-proclaimed, but he's got plans that stretch months to years in advance. And
True.
he has everything meticulously planned out to the point where you see that first scene where he knows exactly where the clowns are going to be. He knows exactly where the guards are going to be. He has it timed down to the second when that bus is going to come through the front. There's no chaos involved. It's all planning.
Kind of like that about him.
Yeah. And that he's also manipulative enough to have the other clowns take out each other, like giving them just enough of the information that makes it that they can be part of the team, but yet also turn on each other. So that's a villain there.
Yeah, it's a hardworking villain.
That is a hardworking. Well, that's a smart villain, and that's probably the most dangerous ones. Dumb criminals are one
chain
thing.
A villain? Is the supply chain allowed to be a villain?
That's
destroying all of our lives.
The greatest villain of all time, supply chain.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Are you guys, being end users, still finding the supply chain from manufacturers is painful, or are you seeing a let up?
We're
Nope.
over it. Over it.
No let up.
We've either
Depends on what you're
decided
trying
we're
to get
gonna we've either decided we're going to stick it out, or we've already decided to move on. Right? At this point.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you either are committed to waiting for the products that you need, or
If you're
you've moved on to
standardized.
the products you get. Yeah, you've moved on to products that you can get.
So here's one for you. So I was exhibiting at Hall. I was just gonna say Hall Techno. I was exhibiting at the AVX Mountain Show Expo, and so the way it was is our manufacturing rep had all of us manufacturers in one row, which was great. And then they had a sheet of paper with a stamp, and at the end they were going to give away either it was a Visa gift card, Bronco tickets, or Avalanche tickets. And I had Hall Technologies beside me, and I was talking to him, and he said their business is way up for that fact because they can deliver that others can't. RDL, same thing, with having Dante products, they can deliver. So, you know, in a way, I'm happy with this whole supply chain is that it's given other manufacturers who wouldn't have had the chance, or it was very hard for them to break in because it was always this narrow focused, well, you know, it's such and such. Well, we're going to use them because we know them and we're comfortable with them. To where they found out is that, hey, there might be a cheaper price. The product even might be better, but it also, there's supply for it. So that's why I thought, you know, I'd ask you
I
guys.
think Harry wants to say something. I can see him nipping at the bud here. There was a time I just took over Tim's show. I have fulfilled
all right.
full billing.
And I
There
could
you go.
possibly
You
watch those
fulfilled.
events,
So I've been for the last like 3 years on the other side of the coin, where I am an on-site, basically O&M type engineer at the moment, trying to keep rooms going that are frankly old and past their end of life, but that's another story.
Come on.
So
Got more in you.
every day.
You can do it. Just
Yeah,
give me
yeah,
a little
I have
bit
to-
more.
My tool bag has paddles for shocking them back into shape, but so a couple of things. Last year at Infocom, we basically ran around and our first question was, can you ship? That was our opener at every booth. Can you ship? Do you have product? And after that, we had to start, because of the government aspect of what we do. We have to ask where you're getting your stuff from, because certain countries are not allowed to be supplied into our particular area. But so we had found some really nice smaller manufacturers that were demoing some really nice gear, and they let us get hands-on, and they actually had the gear there, and I could talk to the engineers and actually figure out what it did and make sure that everything was good. that was another topic of another time. It was, oh, why do we need engineers at Infocom? Because we want to actually see what the heck you guys are speccing. Make sure, because when sales writes a check, we have to cash it. But to flip it a little bit, because of all of our really old rooms, we're having to get things repaired right now. And I am months on sending things in to get repaired at this point. Just because they can't get the components or they can't do it. There's some stuff that, like, we're at critical stages on our backups right now for a lot of things because they just aren't coming back in a timely manner. So for now, for us, because we're kind of, with the fact that we're not buying a bunch of new gear for this particular installation, we're very constrained as to who we can use, and we are very hit by supply chain issues right now.
Yeah.
When we're branching out into some more of the integration side for the actual company that I work for, and we've just gone alternatives on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just because we'll call up and see, what are you shipping something? What's your lead times on these things? And they're just, if somebody's got a hellacious lead time on something, we won't spec it because who knows if it's going to actually be there or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is funny. Actually, it's interesting that you bring that part up, Harry, because when we were just talking about with James's Higher Ed AV article about being prepared with a recovery plan, you have a recovery plan in place, but you're impacted by those repairs to be able to recover.
Now I need a recovery plan for my recovery plan.
Exactly. It's like you've now gone to plan Z now, like you're on that next level type stuff. So
we have literally had to go, and granted we've got over 200 rooms on campus, but we have literally had to, like, be Vikings and pillage some of the rooms just because, like, there's some rooms that are like, they're dead now. Sorry. So I mean, we take switchers out of them, we take panels out of them, we take monitors out of them. So it's just, we're having to do everything. We're down at plan Z right now of just trying to get things and just keep things running. It's like, okay, we have to take down this conference room that barely anybody uses, and it's all the lower level guys anyway. And in order to keep the higher level stuff up and running, for the real high level officials and things that actually use different rooms on campus.
Yeah.
So
you got to Frankenstein some things together, or Frankenstein.
That was a really long way for that joke.
Oh, I was holding out. I was holding out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was stretched so much you're making taffy over there in your square.
Yeah.
I think I might watch that, Tim. Thanks for bringing that up.
No problem. Yeah.
Would that count as a Halloween movie? Technically, right?
Yeah.
It's a monster movie, so yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
I would say yes. That is definitely and I think it's held up over time too. Like it's not like Blazing Saddles where you kind of go back and go, hey.
My most favoriteest thing right now, if I'm bored, is to go watch reaction channels of people, especially like millennials and Gen Z, watching Blazing Saddles.
I gotta look that up.
The best part is that it takes them about 10 minutes, maybe, before they get over all of the modern BS. And they just go with it and they laugh because it's a damn funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize that it's not being racist to be racist. It's making fun of the racists.
Subtle difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
one movie I love. I got the
Well, then when
DVD.
you find out Mel Brooks is Jewish and like he's, so it's not like
I was gonna
he's
say, well, when he's a Yiddish speaking Indian, I mean,
exactly. So it's like Jewish humor. There you go.
Why do I feel like that AV Life is about to be canceled?
Yeah.
Oh, and there's
Joe,
Dave.
I have done my.
Hey, if it survived all those years with Corey, I think we're okay right now. So it's
Joe, I have been, even after 2 really large glasses of Dr. Pepper and Southern Comfort, I have been like the internal sensor has been on overload for this entire episode, just making sure it's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave parts out just so that we don't get like pulled off of YouTube or anywhere or wherever this is being hosted.
Oh my
Yeah,
God! Kanye
YouTube
West just joined the show.
oh no. delete off. No, he is not on the show, folks. He is not on the show.
Welcome to the new sponsor of the AV Life podcast, Kanye West.
Oh,
Speaking of
Dude, talk about getting me canceled. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, sorry, Murphy. Go ahead.
Wait, that could be the Halloween villain this year. If there's like a real life Halloween villain, there could be.
I think
we could all support that.
I think he takes the cake this year. Yes.
I actually used Kanye West's news prominence in his he's on the news for making remarks that are untoward about the Jewish people. And I used the moment to talk to my daughter. I said, you know what? Have you heard of Kanye? Yes. Yeah, I've heard of him. He seems stupid. Whatever. Fine. But I said, you may not know this. I said, did you know that some people might have feelings about Jewish people? She goes, oh yeah, I heard that. And she was thinking way in the past. I said, actually, no, he was talking about that. And I had an opportunity. She didn't even know it was a thing, which she goes, I suppose that's good. I said, but I had an opportunity to give her a little education in people having nasty thoughts towards other people and telling her, it's not been in your life, but this is something that happens and you should be aware of it a little bit. And it was a little bit of a teachable moment to talk to her about how this happens. And she'd never heard of it being a thing. I'm like, well, now that you're aware of it, you might notice it from time to time, and you can know that's saying something about the people that are presenting that judgmental information. So I was took a moment there, and as we were driving to karate and told her about, she's like, huh, I had no idea. So now she can be aware. Did we get canceled yet? No, I'm just saying.
No, we're still good. So yeah.
Well, speaking of being canceled,
okay, go ahead.
No, just this moment, it became final. Let that sink in. Elon Musk is officially Twitter's owner.
As of right now?
Yeah.
Breaking news. There we go. Breaking news on the AV Life.
Well, yesterday he showed up at the headquarters.
Right. But I thought I read.
No, it is not. It's not official. It's not official for. No, it would have been official at midnight.
And he got rid of already. He got rid of executives
and people.
Oh wow, he's interesting. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say, I thought what you were saying about.
All right. Well, I mean, I have to bounce in 2 minutes, but friend or foe, Elon Musk, friend or foe.
I'm gonna say friend. I'm going with friend.
Friend.
Yeah.
Ultimate friend.
Here's the thing. Let's get into the neurodiversity. All right. So he has it's either Asperger's or something, and everybody thinks differently, and they
he said he has Asperger's. He's come out and said he does.
So he sees things in a different light that others don't. And look what he's done with Tesla. So
and SpaceX and Boring Company and PayPal.
Yep.
And what's going to happen with Twitter, but people with mental things probably can't accomplish anything in life. Even though
Oh, no.
most, he's now the wealthiest person on earth.
And he's got lots of kids too. So he's doing it.
Doing his part.
Friend
And
or
did
foe?
you
I go
know-
friend. I do
So-
double
friend.
up friend.
I
And
have
by the way,
something to
Elon
say.
Musk, welcome to being CEO and
Yeah.
owner of Twitter. May I please have a blue check mark?
Remember that?
Supposedly everybody's going to be able to just apply for one now.
He's
Oh,
cheap
great.
shit.
So you go through a little bit of the idea was you go through a little bit of a process and anybody can get a blue check mark. It's not just being handed out by friends and family at this point.
Well,
Okay,
what's a blue check
Elon, can I
mark?
have
Remember
it
that
before
Simpsons
everybody
episode
else can
where
get it?
where Homer ends up going to space
Yes.
and he drops
Hank-
that?
Oh
Yes,
no, that's not what I'm
yes.
thinking of. I'm thinking of a
and
different episode.
And there's ants flying around because he has let like his snacks get into the things, and there's ants everywhere. And so the thing from space, the camera is showing really large ants because they're going right by, and the news anchor is like, they're like, oh my god, the ants are coming from space, and the news anchor says, I for one would like to welcome our new overlords. So that's what I'm thinking. I need to find a snapshot of that or a clip of that and post it on Twitter. But
I welcome our new Twitter overlord,
Yes.
Elon Musk.
yes.
See, I think, and I was thinking of a different Simpsons episode. I was thinking of the one where Homer goes to work for the evil corporation with
Oh,
Hank
that.
Scorpio. Yeah. And I don't know. I think Elon Musk means well, like what we're talking about villains, but he's just got so much money. So, is he planning something? Does he have a secret island with sharks with laser beams? Who knows? How would we know?
Boom, they're all out. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Sorry, but I just saw the story. It did happen. I thought it was supposed to happen at midnight. It did happen at midnight. Just some of the news reports are late. He
Heh.
cleared them all out. That's beautiful.
Wow.
He went
He's
in
having a
there and
clean
went,
house.
"Zzz." It's like, goodbye, everybody.
Now, granted, when the person that acquired my company fired me, I was a little pissed. So I don't know why I'm cheering him clearing house, but it's okay. It's all good. Damn, he got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
So there's
Clean
your
house.
breaking news right here
Sometimes
on the
you got it.
AV Life. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to clean house.
Mm-hmm.
Start over.
I had read.
And
the
just so
thing-
you know, Elon, if you're listening to the show, I've been paying the $2.99 a month for ever since it started. I would like my blue check mark. And I own 2 Teslas.
There you go.
And
What
oh
the
wait,
blue
hold on.
check mark is, Joe?
And I even bought the Tesla belt buckle.
Huh.
Oh, where is it at?
There-
Using Dogecoin.
There you
I
go.
bought the
Ooh.
Tesla belt buckle with Dogecoin.
Nice.
Came out.
But
So
you know
there
what?
go.
You should actually tweet that then. But I don't know what the
Yeah.
blue check
I
mark
think
is.
that gets
What-
you a blue check mark.
What's that?
That's your
Okay.
verified
verified.
Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, actually take it back. I wanted a blue check mark. I just want it before Chris Neto.
Oh.
Just kidding.
There we go.
That's going to be a death match.
Oh yeah, we gotta see who gets it first.
Tim,
I mean, I
like
have
that
spoken
jersey.
to the UN and Department of Education. I'm just gonna work it. All right, I
There
need
you
to
go,
go.
yeah.
I'm late. My
All right.
wife's gonna be mad.
Now that you've made your
I dropped her off
statement.
at pickleball and drove the boat away, and now I have to go pick her up. So she'll be standing on a dock. And thank you,
That's
everyone.
not
Thank you,
good.
Tim. You know what, Tim?
Good seeing you.
Thank
Yep.
you for continuing to run an amazing show. We appreciate what you do every week.
Well, thank you. I try.
See,
I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to do good by Corey.
and to fulfill James's, you're welcome for having a platform to put this podcast on, and that I
Yes,
could
thank-
provide that for you.
Yes, thank you. I
There we go.
appreciate that.
I went full villain. There you go.
You did.
Bye-bye.
You did.
Wow.
Bye, Joe.
Wow, the redemption arc of
Dave-
Joe Way.
Safe
Oh.
sailing.
Tim, celebrate the differences. Just smile and
yeah,
celebrate the
yeah.
differences.
That's all I could do. So, and to be honest, we're actually really pushing our time here. Anyhow, I think we're close to almost an hour, I think, at this
Yeah,
point.
we're probably pushing a lot of things.
I think so I apologize. I know we try to stay 45 minutes, but the last couple of weeks we just been too much to talk about. So I wanted to talk about our favorite costumes as well, but that like I feel like like because I had this really cool Ghostbusters costume when I was a kid. My cousin made like a proton pack that had like lights and like a flashlight and things like that, and like it had little switches, and so I was like I was 8 or something like that. I was a little kid, and it was great.
That's cool.
But yeah, so we've run out of, but I think we've run out of time for this one.
I gotta get the barbecue going. Buffalo burgers.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right. Well,
Ooh, I love buffalo burgers.
Harry, David, thank you very much for joining us, guys. A pleasure, as always, to have you here on the AV Life.
To say, I might need to sign up for one that's not one of the specials and actually talk about AV stuff.
Maybe if you showed up, it would become special.
He's having
yeah,
fun.
we'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to. I'll be sending out the winter spring one soon, so they'll have those dates for January through June or something like that. We'll figure that out. So that'll be coming up soon. And I think there's still slots available later for the fall into the winter, Harry. So go back and take a look and see what you could do.
And our listeners, check it out.
And our listeners, well, if you need the link to the Sign Up Genius, drop us a DM, let us know. We'll get you on. Because we still have the Thanksgiving episode, we have the holiday episode. Dude, we got there's lots still happening, and then
So much.
there's the lightning rounds, and so please, yes, I need people for the lightning rounds. The last couple times we've had like one guest. So yeah, Harry was one of them, and then we had Richard Hutton, which yeah,
Great.
so
You too could be a
Come and join.
guest on the lightning round.
there's plenty, there's room
good.
for everyone, so please come and join us. Happy Halloween, everybody. Stay safe out there if you're walking your kids around. Don't give out fake candy to kids. Just be good to the kids.
Go big.
So
Full
Well, the thing
size.
on my
big.
on my
Don't be-
small
I was listening to Bill. I think it was Bill Burr earlier today, and he was saying like what's with those parents that give out? Oh no, it was
the large
Sebastian,
Costco. They go to Costco and buy the big chocolate bars and things, and they're
well,
the best
no,
house
no,
in the
be-
neighborhood.
Be that parent. Yes, it was Sebastian Matacello.
Maniscalco.
That
Italian
guy.
one, right?
Maniscalco.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was saying, he's like, don't be that family that gives out like non-food things. It's like you're giving a kid a pencil and a notepad. It's like, don't do that. Like, give out the candy. It's like, so
Yeah, but
give
you-
out the candy. And I know some kids can't have it, but maybe have an option.
Do you know
but have
how
candy.
much candy I had to throw out, or that my poor son couldn't have? Yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm
the
sorry.
houses that gave out the Costco stuff, where it was the huge chocolate bars, they were popular. But I live on
Oh,
the
yeah.
small cul-de-sac. I get no one.
Aw.
No one.
Oh.
So
Yeah, we actually got kids last year, so I'm excited that this year I'll get kids. So we'll see what
May
happens.
you all
get a sign.
kids.
Candy, candy, candy.
Yeah, I know. Big strobe lights. Like, come here.
Yeah.
That might
And now
be
we're back to
taken the wrong
Palpatine
way.
and the TIE Fighter.
Come to the dark side. We have candy.
Mm.
All right, folks. Well, happy Halloween. Stay safe. Dream of candy and spooky things,
Dream of
and
Freddy
but no
Krueger.
nightmares. This is the end. This is the end of the nightmare. We go on to thankful things in November. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So until our next adventure,